I'll ask both coaches to give us a brief summary of the match from the perspective. We'll start with the away team coach, Coach Gavin Hunt, followed by the home team coach, Joseph Silva.
I mean, obviously a fantastic result. To come away, obviously a bit disappointed from leading 2-0, then they came back into the game, and then we got ourselves a chance, and in penalties obviously, but I thought we were good mentally, so this type of situation you just got to get through. So players showed good grit, determination, so we're happy to get through. Most important thing is give us another chance, another game in a cup, and we'll take it from there.
Coach Silva, the summary of the match.
Yeah, first half he was not in the game. The plan was other information what I give my players, and when you conceded two goals and then you come back and then you go in front, then normally you win this game. Yeah. But I say this for any weeks. We need time. We have to learn, and this is games. This is a game. What we learn, I hopefully a lot of things. And in the normal time, when you are a little clever, you can win this game.
Now open for questions from the floor.
Thanks, Coach. Zimbao Tebo from ENCA. Coach, in terms of the performance, I'm sure you are proud of the guys. I mean, coming back from 2 goals against Wits, you did mention before the game that Wits it's a very, very strong team to challenge them and take them all the way to the penalties. I'm sure the performance of the side overall.
Yeah, we have a team was come back against Wits. I said this, and you heard me, yeah. And in a normal time you can win this game. I'm very proud of the team. You what? And when you have a chance, you can win against Wits. Then you need all points in the game. And it's not enough. You make a goal or you make then 3 goals. You see this in the end of the time. You lose the game. And that is a process what we do now. Yeah, we have young players on the pitch. They need experience. Yeah, and it was maybe 1 minute or so when we get a minute more then we win the game, and then we are very happy. I'm happy too. Yeah, but it's not for the result, for the performance what we have in the start of the second half. I've been very happy. Yeah.
Jabala from Gifted. Firstly, to Coach Kevin, how sweet was it to get the win at the end? I mean, considering the emotional roller coaster of this game, even having 2 people from your staff being sent off. And to Coach Joseph, when the game went to extra time, when you took a moment, with your hands on your waist, and you went around the pitch quite some time, like what was going through your mind when that, like at the end of extra time, just before penalties, when you hit that moment alone?
Me first? Yeah, look, you're never going to get a love affair between Pirates and Wits. There's always going to be a little bit of spice in the game, so it should be. But I think that gets created from other situations, so yeah, we stuck at it. I said afterwards, after the game, I think CAF does that to you, in CAF, if you tackle below waist high, no foul. In South Africa, you know the story. So it's a different game here, and it's, what we went through the last couple of months was, sure, nobody saw those games, my friend. And we suffered, and I think we'll gain a lot in the long run, because I think it brings a lot of togetherness in the team. I think it shows a lot of character, and it showed today, going down to 10. Last year we played here with 9 men. We won with 9 players here. So we could have had 9 or 8 again today. So it goes like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I speak with my players and speak with my staff. What we do, we have a break, and then I give information, water, eatings, so things. I think I don't know what I do in this time exactly.
At full time, like you took quite a moment on your own after the Wits scored, and you went around like with your hands on your waist. So what was going through your mind during that process and just before the penalty?
Yeah, when we win the game, then I'm happy. I jump in the air, and when we get a goal in the last minutes, I think it's normally then I'm not happy. Yeah, but we have the coach said this. They have one player less on the field, and then we lose. That it's normally it's not possible, but we play against Wits. And we know they have the quality with all players. When they have 2 players less, then maybe they have the chance. They have quality in the squad, and that is the things what we have to learn in the next weeks and next months.
Coach Kevin, congratulations on the win. How important was to retain a player like Motuba, someone we can count on, especially as we've seen, not only with the goal but also the contribution that it brings. And also, if you can tell us more about when you lost Pelembe and you considered, we saw you pushing up Tyson, and also Shanti was doing more in the midfield. If you can just explain what you wanted to achieve there.
Well, obviously it's important to keep gift. I mean, I saw a report in the paper today that's really disturbing from another coach about our player, about us turning down a certain amount of money. I mean, it's a disgrace. You know, the thing should never be like that. So that the boys' heads in the clouds because of all the talking from everybody. You know, so it's disappointing that. Secondly, what you said, well, you know, we 3-2 down. We got to take a gamble. You know, we pushed the left back in. I mean, at the end they had 1 or 2 chances they could have scored because we had no left side defender there. We were 3 at the back. I mean, you know, and sometimes you got to be brave in the situations, you know, and try and push. And we got the goal, which got us to get a chance. So, yeah, all good and well. But I mean, it doesn't always work, you know. So, but yeah, that's what we did. We try to leave 2 strikers up as well. You know, when you're a man short, you know, the most teams will go back. We try and go forward, you know. So, which made them go back a little bit as well, which is also important. And sometimes you play for that. But yes, they had 2-3 chances at the end. But we also had some gilt-end chances today. Real good opportunities. So did they. But that was a good cup game. So, you know, sometimes you're going to lose. You know, but all credit to them. You know, Joseph's done a good job here. They've come around. They're playing well, entertaining. The players are moving. You know, I mean, Mango was, you know, I had him for 3-4 years. We won the league. He's done well for, you know, he's scoring now. So you got to give credit to the coaching staff and the players. And I'm sure they'll be a threat for the next 15 games, or maybe they were less, you know. So, but today was our day. So, but we really worked hard. So, good.
Does anyone have a question? Other than the people who have already asked questions, guys, so that we can rotate. Thank you. And may I ask that you raise your hands before I ask you if you have a question, because the assumption is that you don't have, and then the press conference will end at much earlier.
Sister from the Soweto. Coach Joseph, we were expecting maybe to, in the absence of Mahango, maybe to see Tsekofazo Mabasu, but we saw that you opted for the Basa. If maybe you can give us your opinion, his age, what is his age over Mabasa? The Basa.
Yeah, we have a lot of good strikers, and this game was for us. Lepasa had a step more, yeah, and next game maybe come other players on the field, on the pitch, maybe, yeah. But it is a decision he make the penalty, he make a goal. When we win, then you come and say, hey, top Lepasa, yeah. And now it's the question, it's top or not top. We make a top game. Gavin said this, we make a top game today for our supporters, both teams fighting to the end of the conditions. it was a big game for me. We have maybe 3-4 big chances. We can make the goal. Lepasa too. Yeah, but we make not the goal, and you see the experience for the other team. They play international. They are very clever. They need not a lot of chances. We have maybe in the last 50 minutes, 10 minutes in the extra time, we have a lot of chances. We can make the goal, then it's finished. But we make not the goal, and then it's so football. Then come the other team, get 3-4 good chances, 1 goal, and then you make not the penalties in, and then you lose the game. It's so. When we make the penalties in, when Lepasa make the penalty in, and saying, oh, you're top, make 2 goals. That it's so. But come back, Ben come back too, also, and then we get more experience back, and then maybe we have in the next league game more luck. We have the same performance after the second half, and then it's not so. I say we have make a bad game. I think all supporters say this. We both team make a top game.
Temba Shabalala Joseph from Sports. Coach Zimbauer, thoughts behind starting with Delay and putting Sandilands on the stands. Was it your assessment of him in a real game time, and what did you make of his performance? Coach Kevin, you've got extra games to go and you still have catch up to play in the league. Your preferences, where is your preference lying right now? You want to put more efforts on the league, seeing that you're still behind, and here's the Nedbank Cup. Isn't it an obstruction for you?
We have 3 good keepers. Then we have a cup game, and then we speak about it in the staff, and the goalkeeper coach said, now it's time, we can maybe change and we make this, but he make a good game. It's not a problem, and next week we will see what's happened. But I think Sandilands come maybe back, and then it's good. It's cup game. Next cup game, when we are around more, then I think it's the same thing. We changed. It was before clear.
Look, we can't prioritize cups or games. We're not the size of our club. I mean, every game's important to us. We can't be like Liverpool where you play under 19s. No. So look, it's going to catch up with us. There's no doubt about it. You know, our squad's a smaller squad in the league. We've got 22 players. So you know, today we lost another one, but we've got another cover there coming on Wednesday. But certainly, playing now, we're going to play the next couple of weeks is very difficult for our squad. But you know, we're going to have to manage it. But as I said, these type of games can drag you along and take you along to the next game. You know, but obviously hopefully we don't get caught too much. You know, it's also the day games don't help as well. In the daytime, it's also very hot. The tempo of the game is much slower. You know, so we'll see.
Question.
This is Omalepa from Arena Holdings. Coach Joseph, your team is doing very well. I just have one simple question for you. Rulana Mugwana is not back. Are you doing fine without him, or do you think he'll come back on the bench before the end of the season?
I give the last weeks a lot of information about this. It's nothing other. It's always the same things in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, is he still on leave? When is he coming back?
I think the coach has answered you.
Yeah, but it's a follow-up question. If you can, coach, when is he coming back?
Can you give back the microphone? Thank you. Next question.
For 3 weeks, I give the information. This was always the same things. I hear always the same question. I give you the information. When it's back, it's back, and when it's back, it's not back. I give the information.
Okay, to Coach Kevin Hunt, Bidvest Wits coach. Looking at this result, Coach, going into a grueling league campaign where you sort of like, I don't know if I say you have an edge because of games in hand. How important is this victory going into the league games?
As I said to you, mentally, it's a good mental space, but it doesn't mean physically. because we play Wednesday again and Saturday, you know. And Saturday is going to be a 3 o'clock game up the north. You know how hot it is up there. So, you know, Wednesday will be tough for us because of extra time. But yeah, we'll tackle that breach. You know, what we do have is a lot of know-how, and that's important in football. Know-how, you know, around the place, in the place, and that's important. Office staff, the staff, everybody's got a know-how, and in football you need that. And I think that'll help us. It doesn't always make you win games, but we know, you know, we'll tackle the situation as best we can with the calmness, because we don't want to get excited. That's for sure. We're a long, long way off anyway.
Okay, to get from far post to Gavin Hunt. Now he just recently came back from an injury. So and he played one innings today.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'd like to know your overall thoughts on his performance today.
He was magnificent, but that was my fault. That was my fault because when we were 2-0, I tried to close the game. It was a little bit too early, and they came back into the game, and I made the changes, and it was a bad decision on my part. So, because he was never going to be able to play 80 minutes, let alone 90 or 120 minutes. But it is what it is, and you know he's a very good player. I think he's an excellent player, but that was my fault because that wasn't part of the plan, you know. But sometimes football goes like that.
Question for Coach Joseph and the second one to Coach Kevin. Coach, for the first time in your 8 matches today, you conceded more than 1 goal in a game. Does today's game give you another look in terms of how to look, not necessarily your defense, but how you deal with the situations? Because I felt today you were stretched there in the back. And also, Coach Kevin, I will ask this one to you because you're the only one who was there. You considered, in fact, this fixture has produced 13 goals in 2 matches now. What is it different in this Pirates and Vets game? Is this about how you approach each other?
Yeah, first it was 1 penalty and then was one counter-attack after the corner. It's possible, yeah, and it's a cup game, and the cup game is open. It's a cup game. Yeah, we have another chance. The next game we make it better. You're out now, and that is the reason. It's the things what we do. We have an opponent. They can this. We see before we analyze the wits, and we know this, but we make not a good defend in this time, and then you get the goals. They have the quality for this.
Look, you don't. I'm sure Joseph's the same as me. You don't want to concede goals. It's not nice to concede goals, but it's not. Football doesn't work like that. You know, I'd like to win 1-0 every week, but it doesn't doesn't happen like that. People, you know, for the fans, they enjoy it, but I'm sure Joseph, I don't enjoy those games when it's going end to end and it's 2-3. You know, I mean, we had a league game in Durban was crazy. You know. But sometimes it just happens like that, you know. It's football, but certainly for me, we do pride ourselves on working hard, you know, without the ball, because we don't have the quality that Orlando Pirates got. We don't have that, or the technical ability of players. So we've got to try and do it another way, you know. That's football. So I'm not happy about our defending today, that's for sure. But where we defend and how we defend it. So we'll have a look and then look at it again, but there's not much time, we'll go again.
Final 3 questions. Starting to Ndabolo and then Timber.
Jordan, Coach, when you took over from the team, I mean, there was quite a lot of, there wasn't that mental strength that the team now has. When you took over and you saw the games that they played before you and now, like, what was the main objective or the main thing that you needed to work on to put the team to be where you wanted to be?
You mean in the league game, or what do you mean?
The team, when you took over and you saw the games that they played before you, and now, like, what was the main thing that you wanted to instill in this team?
I don't know. I work always, so I don't know what to make other things. I give my information, I give my systems, I make my plan, and the team is, we get it, we translate it, and yeah, I think that's the things what we do.
Temper Shabala. Coach,
You guys don't want to go home, or what?
no, I like the meeting, Coach.
Final 3 seconds.
Sorry, I'm joking.
Coach, you've played a big role in Gaba being what he is today and what he is. I remember at one of the matches you said he's one of the players that you never wanted to let go of him, but he's got goals in him. And to this time, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time he's sitting at the top of the goal scorers with so many goals. I mean, his target for the season, he said he was 15 goals. I mean, what do you make of him in his current form? I mean, looking at, on the second phase of the question, looking at the team sheet without him, would it have been nice to play against him on this?
No. He was happy he was in the stands. Nah, look, he's got goals, the boy can score. There's a lot of parts, the other game, I don't want to stop he's out of my hands now, but we used to work hard with him to do off the ball stuff, but he can score goals. Oh my goodness, he can score. He's got an eye for goal, and he can score different types of goals. That's important. Some strikers can only score one type of goal, but he can score different types of goals. He's good in the air when he wants it. And, I'm glad he's doing well for Orlando Pirates. Sure, I didn't want to lose him, Pule, Ben, Kola, all of them, but it happens in football. We're a small club.
Coach, Abel Mabas has been very good for you at right back. We saw him limping off. How serious is his injury? How serious is it?
The right back.
I have hamstrings problem. It's not good in the moment, I think.
Can I have a beer now?
Only one.
Thanks, Coach.
Invite me.
One more and then we can all go. Coach, in terms of we spoke to another coach that I want to mention, he talked about getting, in terms of the draw, like easier size. I don't know your preference. Do you have any special preference?
The draw is the draw. You got the hot balls and the cold balls, The draw is the draw. It's not I mean, look at Sundowns do Supersport, we do Pirates. I mean, any of those 4 teams could be in the final. So it happens like that. I mean, some teams it's easier, but football is like that. You can't control that. Just happy. We just worry about Wednesday's game and go from there. Right now.